Hi everyone, my name is Jacqueline and thank you for watching this video. I make videos on this channel regarding my time as a social work student. I just recently graduated with my master's in social work, so today's video is going to be my 6 tips for social work students. So it's going to be all about my top tips about going into social work school. I actually think these tips could work for any major, but if you did just recently get accepted to social work school and you found my video because you're looking up some things on that, first of all, congratulations, and second of all, I hope this video helps. For everyone looking into going into social work school or who are in it right now or just gonna start, I really hope this helps. So let's just get into it. So my first tip is going to be make connections with people, and by this I mean students, teachers, become friendly with people in your classes. I definitely highly recommend making connections with people and say becoming friendly with classmates in your class, getting their numbers. That can be so helpful for the future when maybe you're confused on an assignment or you think you have a question or something like that. Just to text a fellow classmate who knows the class and who also knows what you're going through can be really helpful. Also, like finding mentorship through professors. I was really lucky to have super great professors, and I think finding mentorship in them can be so helpful for future connections outside of social work school. Also, even if you need help getting internships and things like that, your professors can help you, and the more they know about you, the more they can help you with your specific internship or job request. Also, recommendation letters for when you graduate or for job reference letters for future employers are going to be really important, at least that I know of around my area. So I highly recommend that if you make the connection with your professors and they get to know you, they can write a really solid reference letter for you. Beyond that, making connections while being a student, like take advantage of being a student and interview people. Like if you have an assignment and you meet people through that, I know there was a ton of assignments I had in social work school that I had to go to certain places or interview certain people. Those are making connections and they can possibly help you in your future. Just having that, like, I'm a student, is kind of like an in for getting to know agencies and interviewing people, so later on you can kind of email them and say, hey, do you remember I interviewed you however long ago, just seeing if you're hiring or you have any opening positions, that kind of thing. I heard that through a video once and I thought that was such a great idea to really establish your connections and kind of email them afterwards. But yeah, definitely take advantage of meeting people while you're doing school assignments. So all in all, this first tip is just making connections and the importance of finding that classmate that you can talk to, the professor you can go to, that kind of thing. My second tip is organization and time management. So super important. I'm such an organizer myself. I'm a big note taker. I do it on paper and pen. Like I kind of know myself by now in my learning style, of, if you will. I have my planner and it is like everything to me. I know I've mentioned this in videos before, but it really helps with my organization and time management. If you have like a big calendar on your wall, that can be helpful as well. Blocking your schedule out in a planner, that's been helpful for me in the past too. Like literally just looking at your week ahead and blocking out certain times you're going to study, go to class, go to work, go to your internship, that kind of thing. Just feeling organized can really help with the preventing overwhelm, I guess you could say. Like it really helped me stay motivated and on task when things weren't in front of me all over the place, chaotic, unorganized. You know, set realistic goals for yourself. Also with that, you know, if you have work, internship, school all in one day, it might not be realistic to get 6 assignments done. So plan out your day and your work based off that. And again, it can be super helpful with not being overwhelmed. So my third tip is asking for help if you need it. And I know for a lot of us, even me when I first started school, it was kind of like intimidating to ask a question or raise your hand in class and things like that. And especially at internships when I felt like I needed to know everything. School is meant for you to be learning and for asking questions, so please don't feel intimidated to ask. I hope you have professors and people that encourage you to ask questions and join the conversation so you do learn more and participate.
Okay, I think it's getting darker, so I'm gonna turn that light on. Okay.
So with asking questions, some classes could actually count your participation as points towards your grade. So not only the more you participate get you points, but it could also just help your learning and make sure the professor knows that you're engaged in the class and that you really care about the material. So asking for help participating in class, for sure, one of my tips as well. Number 4 is basically to know your why, and I think this is going to help keep you motivated. So by this I mean, why are you going to school? Why do you want to be a social worker? The job that you see yourself in, why do you want to be there? Just having that motivating factor of like why can help you in those times where it's really stressful, to remind you of why you're doing this. Even if it's writing it on a post-it note and sticking it to your mirror in the morning, or sticking that post-it note in like your binder, your notebook, or having it on your phone, something like that could be really helpful with motivation. Like I said, on the days where it's just tough to get up and get going, you have a lot of work, things like that. Number 5 is taking care of yourself. And I know I'm like the queen of saying self-care all the time, but basically it really does help your mental health and ultimately your schoolwork outcomes. Taking care of your mental health is super important in school, and hanging out with family and friends, super important to have that support system. Also, I would highly recommend keep doing the hobbies and activities that you have been doing, that you love, that relax you. You don't have to necessarily give up your whole life for school. I know everyone has different situations, so definitely take this with a grain of salt, I guess. But I know it really helped me to still do my self-care routine, even when I thought I had no time or something like that. It's really helped me to take those breaks and go out to dinner with my fiance or hang out with my friends. Like, those helped my mental state, and I could have a refreshed and renewed state of mind when I did get back into my work. So to just give my brain that relaxation time really helped, for sure. And just like make time for yourself as well. Overall, I think it is really important to have that time for yourself and to rest, recharge, make sure you are taking care of everything, your physical health, mental health, emotional health, everything like that. And my last tip is save your notes and your papers, anything that you think will help you in the future. So I saved only a few books for my time in school, but the ones I did save are like the social worker's desk reference. So it's very has a lot of topics in it. A generalist book from my BSW, my bachelor's degree, the DSM-5, of course. So saving the books, but also beyond that, I saved a lot of papers and worksheets that I did during class that I really enjoyed, or I want to keep that information and make sure I always have it on me. It could also be helpful down the line if you plan on taking like a license certification or exam. That information to refresh your mind would be helpful as well. So yeah, especially if you're in undergrad and you plan to get your master's, saving those papers and information could be very helpful. Which, now that I'm even talking about it, saving like your professor's emails could also be very helpful as well. Whether you're graduating or going on to a master's program or whatever it is, once you leave school, if you need to contact them for any like reference letters or information, anything like that, just to have like their emails written down for those purposes could be helpful. Also, in terms of graded papers, it could be really helpful to keep those really good grades, those A's on the papers and everything like that, to motivate you in the future. I think for me at least, it was super helpful keeping my A's and all those good grades to look at and be like, yeah, like I did that, like I can do this. Super motivating factor. Also found that my papers like helped me grow as a person. A lot of my social work papers were based off my beliefs and my values, and whether it was that or even just like general research or informational papers, it helped me learn, it helped me grow. The information could be relevant to me in the future, and I think it will be. Okay, so it's starting to rain, but I am wrapping up the video, so that's good timing. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. If you have any tips for social work school and you're going through it or went through it, please feel free to comment them below as well. And I just want to say that you can do this, and I am so proud of everyone that got into a social work program. I love getting comments that say they got into a program or they're going in the fall, things like that. I want to wish everyone luck that's going to school. I hope you are all doing well and staying healthy, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.